POS show yo. Show yo. Show yo. POS show yo. Show yo. Show yo. Yo, it's POS with Pat and Bobby. News so wild it's never sloppy. Talk the truth, don't make it snobby. Who's the POS? We getting choppy. POS show yo. Show yo. Show yo.
Yeah, play the whole thing out. Why not? Even the part where people think the show's over, because it's just blacked out. Blacked out. Happy Martin Luther King Day, everybody. What's going on? What?
Every time I hear that, I think of the old Ollie G joke. Like Martin's dream, I dream of little black girls that will play with little white girls.
What a great writer he was.
Yeah,
the great Ollie G. Do you think there's anyone else in U.S. history we can be serious and not serious at the same time that deserves a day, not taking away a day? Because if you think about individuals that have days, we have Christopher Columbus, who wasn't an American, and now they pulled his away. So if you go by American Day, we have President's Day, but we don't have like a President's Day.
Yeah.
So, like, if you just go human beings that have a day, it's really just Martin Luther King, right?
Jesus would be the other one.
Not an American, like I said.
Okay, just specifically American.
I'm saying about America, as big as we are, and of all the great people we've ever had, we got one person that has a day.
Yeah, that is kind of the great equalizer.
And he is the greatest black man of all times. I mean, I think some would say Jordan. But who's the GOAT? Who's the GOAT? Who's the GOAT of black people, American black people? Martin Luther King, Michael Jordan. I think 50 Cent falls into that now.
You can't put him in that category because I'll pick him right away.
Well, I'm saying that's why I kind of did it. I did it.
And Tyler Perry.
Well, no, I think Tyler Perry could be in there, but I guess we're going to go 5. Even though we're probably going to say no, we have to go Barack Obama.
Okay. Sorry,
you know what
Terry.
I mean? Like, you have to go there. So Martin's already. We're doing a Mount Rushmore. Martin's on it. He's it. He's the GOAT of that. He's the George Washington of that Mount Rushmore. Because right, wouldn't you say if you were going to rank the Mount Rushmore of Mount Rushmores, George Washington's number 1, right?
In my book, that's for sure.
Who's 2?
Roosevelt.
3.
Jefferson.
4.
I don't know who the 4th one was.
Me either. That's why I was asking.
Is it Lincoln?
It must be.
Yeah,
he's the go-to. He's the go. When you're a kid, you learn about 2 of them.
Yeah, exactly. And those were my top 2.
I wonder if that's still the case.
I think
I bet you Barack's talked about.
Oh, I'm sure Barack is, but I think you learn a different thing about Mount Rushmore, and it was like, this is where we put the white supremacists who everybody hates up to worship. This is George Washington. He never told a lie. That's why he walked around saying, I hate black people all the time. You know, all that kind of stuff.
Like, he wasn't even trans. Who knows what bathroom he used?
According to Trump, gone. No more.
Take the Trump thumb. What? See you. Hey, happy inauguration day, Kish. So yeah, you were telling me that off air. I had heard this in the past, but I had not heard it today. Is he legit saying that America will only recognize 2 genders? And what does that mean?
He said he's signing an executive order today that the federal government will only acknowledge male and female, and it will be a meritocracy again.
Men
on the color of your skin.
Born as men can only be men. Today, my country titty. Today, you're a lady, you have titties. Today,
Today,
a man with tea. Today with high tea. Today.
Balls. That woman's got balls.
I don't know why, but the drop
Such
of balls
big
was fantastic. Balls. That lady has balls. She
What other
can no
podcast-
longer shop at malls because she has balls.
I was just laughing, thinking like, what other podcast are you gonna have Neil Diamond's freedom be parodied into a trans movement?
Just when you said he did it today, it just clicked right into my fucking head.
No, it was perfect.
Kish, I don't know anything about anything. So what's that? Welcome home, Mount McKinley.
One of the executive orders Biden did was renaming McKinley to its Native American name. So Trump already made it back to Mount McKinley.
There's a Native American named Mount McKinley.
No, this is a mountain, and it was called Mount McKinley after like the general who conquered it or whatever. I don't know the whole backstory, but then they went back to the Native American term for the mountain, and Trump was like, nah, that's McKinley.
Is he going to change that one in West Virginia?
Which one's that now?
It's like the N-word mountains, whatever the fuck it is.
No, I think he's probably gonna be like, you guys can have that one. They will pry that mountain from my cold, dead hands.
You know, I was at work today and I had to interview somebody for a job. So like my boss was like, "Oh, go talk to them," but didn't give me any paperwork or nothing. He just told me her name was Nigeria, and I said, "Okay." And I said, so I came back and he goes, "Her name was what? Nigeria?" I go, "Yeah, like the country." And he goes, "Spell it." I go, "Nope." And then he looked at me. I'm like, I am not. And he just laughed his ass off. Like, no, not even close, blind guy. I'm not doing that at all. We are not spelling that in one bit. Okay, so we got MLK. Does Malcolm X make it?
I
Very important.
I grew up in Memphis, and so we were always, indoctrinated with MLK and the non-violent movements. But then as I became an adult, I became very, very much a fan of the violent, aggressive movement. So I would throw them on there.
So you've got two black leaders. So is this a black? Are we saying this Mount Rushmore? I don't know how to make it worse. Mount Rushmore is going to be like the real one where it's not political so much, but like public leaders.
Ooh, that, you know what? I kind of
If we're adding those two, then I think we get in a weird territory. I think there is somebody who's both a celebrity but a public leader who falls into that.
Hit me up.
Oprah. I'm being serious. Like,
we putting women on our mountain?
We're putting women on the mountain.
Bitch is a mountain. Can't there just be Mount Oprah? Can't we just call Oprah Mount Oprah when she does the upswing in her weights? And then we resolve that whole problem. Oh, look, it's Mount Oprah.
We could put Fat Oprah and Thin Oprah on there.
I like that. I just meant when Oprah gets fat, we just call her Mount Oprah.
I think if you're going to go Malcolm X, then you have to go Barack Obama. You have to go the first the other two weren't presidents of the United States. And as much as you can say what that is or not, or you value it, if you're going to put him, I think he should actually be on before anyone else. But MLK's got to be on because he has a day. I'm trying to get someone a day. And I think Barack Obama is going to get a day. I think it's going to be problematic. But I think when we get another Democrat in the White House, or whatever they're going to call him at that point, liberal party, or then changing the names, whatever it is, I think someone at one point, 50 years from now, will do two things. They will give Barack Obama a day, and they'll give 9/11 a name.
Ooh, okay. I could see both of those, actually. And why wouldn't you give Obama a day?
Why wouldn't you give 9/11 a name? Like the 4th of July is the only other date day, but it's not even July 4th. It's the 4th of July, and then we also call it Independence Day. So we gave it another name just in case.
Yeah.
I think they should call it 9/11, and then like in parentheses, oh shit, twice?
That's a good option. I was thinking like 9/11, aka beat up a Muslim day. And then we just bring back all that xenophobia we felt September 12th.
Yes, we all understand, and I'm tired of talking about it, the fear of the warrior princess Xena. No one wants to hear about that anymore.
You know who she would really terrify? The Muslims. They're like, there's a warrior who's allowed to be naked and she kills people? Jesus. And they're like, whoa, that's our guy. That's Zena's guy. She's allowed to call Jesus, not you.
Muslim. What's the difference between Muslim and Buddhist?
A lot. So Buddhist.
I both think they look the same. The people that like it.
Yeah, Buddhism's more of like a philosophy. In certain parts of China, they started worshiping him as a god at the end, but his whole thing was just like providing you a path to follow. Whereas like Muslims are just pedophilic Christians or Jews.
Muslims are just strangers you haven't met yet.
Strangers who haven't tried to blow you up yet. Strangers who haven't stabbed you for no reason on the subway yet. Strangers who didn't light you on fire and then sing a song while you die on the subway.
I think Buddhism is too pessimistic. It should be Yadism.
Yeah, dude.
Woo! Yadism.
Which is perfect because Buddhism is all about life is suffering. Yadism would be all like, life's great. It doesn't matter what you do. Everything's okay.
It's like, who are we going to name this religious guy after, this fat guy? I don't know. What would you do if you saw him naked? Like, boo, duh.
That's amazing. You know what's crazy though is Buddha was skinny.
What? That picture is not that little guy.
The only reason he's
fat.
Is
there a real Buddha?
Yeah, the Buddha was a leader in India.
Is his last name Belly?
No, that'd be amazing though. But he was like supposed to be the king and he didn't want to. So he took a vow of poverty and walked around and was super skinny. But as it made it up the Silk Road to China, in China, like being fat was a sign of being wealthy and knowledgeable. So if you see a fat Buddha, that's actually from China. And if you see a skinny Buddha, that's from India, the original.
Dude, from now on, I'm putting that on dating apps. It's like, it's not that I don't have any money. I took a vow of poverty.
Yeah, that's you and me both, buddy.
Girl, I'd love to take you to dinner, but my beliefs won't allow me to.
What's crazy is that priests have to take a vow of poverty, but those guys all have such a like giant churches full of wealth. And then comedians, we don't have to take a vow of poverty, but here we are.
That's a good move, though, when you're like the Roman Empire and you're like, well, they're going to take all our money. Like, we'll just bury it into the Catholic Church.
Hide it in this fake country called Vatican City. A country is called Vatican City. Let me just run that back real quick.
Yeah.
But speaking of the Irish, are you a college football
What's
fan?
up, buddy? What's up, AJ? How are you, sir? All right, what are you gonna say?
No. Are you looking forward to the game tonight at all? The college?
No. I don't really care about college football at all. I know my father and my brother, well, they're huge Notre Dame fans. Because we were Irish, my dad raised us to like things that are Irish, even to think with a mascot that's racist, like a little Irish guy. I'll be watching Monday Night Raw because I'm still excited that it's on Netflix.
Is Sheamus back?
Yeah, he's been back. He's not gone.
But no, I thought didn't he just do something big? Or maybe it was an old clip somebody was replaying on Monday Night Raw. Because it would be funny if they were like, to combat Notre Dame playing, who's headlining tonight's Monday Night Raw? It's Sheamus.
He's got a big match tonight, I think. I think he's fighting Braun Breaker tonight, or soon. But for the Intercontinental Championship.
I love when stations do that to try to compete with like the big thing. My favorite was during the finals one time, ABC. Shaq was playing in the finals, so they played his movie where he's a genie in a radio.
Yeah,
and they're like,
great.
They're like, we'll just capitalize on the audience who's all shacked up. But
I think that's the movie that people think Sinbad made.
Yes,
yeah,
that is 100% it.
That's one of my favorite things ever. That Mandela effect thing, where people are just like, "Yo, Sinbad made a movie as a genie." Like, Google it. You can't find it, dude. I swear to God, he did.
I remember watching that movie. It's crazy that it does not exist. The reason I brought up Ohio State Notre Dame though is I actually have our POS story about that.
Ooh.
Now I'm Irish and Italian, both Roman Catholics, so we grew up big. The households we were in rooted for Notre Dame, and then Notre Dame was the one college I didn't get into because I went to a public school, so we kind of turned on them. And as a result, I've kind of developed like a Laker-like mentality where it's like, fuck the Irish, meaning Notre Dame.
Right.
Not you, Pat, because we're such good friends.
I'm not Irish. We'll discuss this.
No, I know. But as I got snowed in Hershey, my parents did mass like they do every Sunday on TV now, thanks to COVID. The mass ends and the priest comes out and goes, before we leave, I've got one last thing. We, as Catholics, have a vast prayer network. So when one person needs help, we help them all. And there's one group that needs help tonight or this week, and that is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. So I would like all of you to pray for Notre Dame to beat Ohio State. And it just feels like God on their side might be cheating.
I don't know. He doesn't ever come through. Ask those cancer kids.
Except for the one that Mike Ward talks about. The deal was to die. But yeah, so who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it Notre Dame for continuing their tradition of cheating and not really being Catholic and asking for the Catholic God to intervene on their behalf? Or is it me for being mad at God for intervening on the Catholic's behalf?
It's not you. God should, if God is going to intervene, he should intervene on his team. You know what I mean? Like, if that's the God you're talking about, I mean, it's really weird. Like we said before about like how 9/11 doesn't have a name. It's weird that God doesn't have a name and he's just God.
It's almost kind of like he's the right one.
I don't know, because the right one would have a name. You're just like, I don't know, the gods. Like, you mean the gods? They're like, no, our God. Like the God. Which God is he? The God of thunder? Very, very frightening. Me, Galileo. Like, which one is he?
Well, and then you got the Baptist who always saying, our God is an awesome God. And it's like, your God? Does that mean there are other gods?
I think if anybody ever breaks into song, I have to fucking strike them down with a vengeance. It's like unreal.
That would be my God. No singing in my church.
Okay, who's your God's Mount Rushmore? God.
Jesus.
Now is Jesus but Jesus and God and Holy Spirit or whatever are all the same bro, right? Even though they play other characters, and I know he's his own son, but they're also in him, with them.
Right, but we don't go, hey,
hey,
what's the actor that everybody thinks is the best of all time? He played Lincoln. He's probably gay.
Oh, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, we don't go Daniel Day-Lewis. You won the Oscar as Lincoln. You don't get to also win an Oscar as the next role you play. Just because God's got different faces doesn't mean he can't be on the mountain multiple times.
Wait a minute. God's acting as Jesus? I'm pretending to be my son. I'm identifying as my son. I am the true identifier. I use both bathrooms for young boys and men.
No longer allowed in America, then, God, if that's how you feel.
See, Hades can't make it on the Mount Rushmore, because if Hades makes it, then Beelzebub has to make it. And we can't have on all Satan on top mountain.
Yeah, I like where your head's at, but I agree with Pat.
Hades isn't even the top of those guys. Zeus, right?
Zeus is the king of them, but Zeus was kind of fun. He just liked to dress up as weird animals and then hook up with people.
Yeah, Zeus was pretty gay. I like lightning. Okay. Whee! Obama was deported 30 minutes ago.
There goes his day.
Oh, jeez. But we got rid of Michelle, but we kept her penis.
Yeah. She has to go by Mike again, according to Dom.
By Mike again. Show me your mic again. Show me your mic. Mike Obama is my favorite Obama out of all of them. I don't know the kids' names. I don't like the dogs. Barack is second, but Mike Obama, because Mike Obama tried to feed the kids as Michelle Obama with like good vegetables and stuff, but also pegs her husband.
My favorite's Patty Obama.
Hyperion's a great name. You are right, ZZ. Their names were better. The Titans did it better.
That's why we remember them.
Few American presidents did more in 8 years than Teddy Roosevelt. Yeah, he's the guy that I think should have had a day. I don't like that we do President's Day, because it just takes them all on. Like, does Richard Nixon need to be part of that day? Like,
yes.
Why?
Why? Lion Dick Rick Nixon? Yeah, of course.
Lion. By the way, that's the name I want in prison. Old Lion Dick over here. No, it's Lion. No. Lying.
You say that now.
Lion Dick. Okay. To answer your question, it's God. God's wrong. God should have gone away as soon as we got the internet. You know what I mean? Like as soon as we could just, because what God to me was a way to answer questions. When you make up a God, it's like, why does this exist? Why does this happen? Like the Bible was really made for like, hey, you're stupid and you don't get how to live life. So this is a guide to teach you how to live your life. But then everyone's like, well, what about the guy in it? The guy in it's fucking great. And the other guy can do moves. It's like, it's stories. It's a way to teach you how to live your life. Like, nope, let's just pray to that guy and blame him for shit. And hopefully he takes the wheel and all that shit. Like, all right, fuck off. So to me, the second the internet happened where I could Google things and I can just check out anybody's butt and then just jerk off to people I don't barely know, like that, I don't need God anymore. So like God should have gone away. But God, now he just tries to get involved in shit like football games. It's like, remember me, I'm God, backwards is a dog, baby, you love dogs, woo. And Haitians are like, we're going to eat you. It's like, I'm back to God, baby.
I'm God
But
again.
yeah, to me, it's God.
I understand what you're saying.
Do you? 'Cause I don't. I went off on a tangent. I have no idea what I just said.
I would disagree a little bit in just saying that like the internet and the ability to look up anybody naked at any time is evidence of God. Like it's a taste of what heaven would be.
I tell that to the ladies. I don't want to do that. It's a taste of what heaven would be, baby. I also like it's a dick. I know it says with a plural, but I read it quick and I was like, dick crimes are nothing. It's this policy, but crimes. Nixon's crime. No, you're right. Okay, so Bobby, I have a question.
Okay.
All the hype has been here. All the people losing their mind. Roseanne Barr making a rap album. Everyone's pumped about. Have you seen that?
No, but
Roseanne Barr and Tom McDonald, a friend of mine sent it to me last night, made a rap song called Daddy's Home about Trump being president. Dude, it's the most white trash, like Klan rally. She's got long blonde dread. It's crazy. I'm sure we wouldn't even get in trouble. We can find it at one point. We can put it up. I don't think we would give a shit. But it's wild. And because of all the hype and everyone being like, now the fucking world's back, or the other ones are the people who are all the opposite. Like, now everyone's going to jail. I better leave. He is by far the most polarizing president, I would say, since George Washington. Because George Washington became like the figurehead in what we put all presidents against. You know what I mean? Like when you're a child, you learn who he is. There's fables and stories like there is of Trump. Like George Washington couldn't tell a lie and chop down a tree, and Donald Trump grabs him by the puss. Like they're doing things that can't really be done. A kid can't chop down a tree, and you can't physically grab someone's pussy. You just can't. You can touch it and stuff, but you can't. Listen, a meaty. You can't do it. So to me, what I'm asking is, does Trump even like realistically, not in rah-rah fashion, the way he's like gathered the masses and stuff like that? That's the only way I see when people say like he's like Hitler. He's not like Hitler, but in the way where he has worked people up into a frenzy by saying nonsense, they're the same guy. So they both had like a uniform. One's a red hat, one's a fucking actual uniform, but it's the same fucking thing. Do you think 50, 60 years from now, where you and I are gone, and but people like that are like children now, they're the old people. Do we look back at him as even a top 20 president?
So I think we get
too pumped in the moment nowadays.
Yes, exactly. And I think part of it is like there's a recency bias. So like everybody looks back and is like, oh my God, Washington was the greatest president of all time. Then Jefferson was up there. You know what I mean? Because they were the originals. But I think
George Jefferson?
No. Although I'm sure it was a relative at some point.
Shut up, honky.
That would be my personal favorite president. Shut up, honky. But I don't think he will be looked at as top 20. And here's why. I think we swing so quickly these days. Like Kish was saying, 8 years Roosevelt got so much done, but he had 8 years, and then there wasn't somebody who came in the day he left and reversed everything he did.
Yeah, he did 8 years in a row.
Yeah, and
most people don't do the 4, I'm out, I'm back.
Right. And so I think that'll be part
Has
of it.
anyone else ever done that?
Trying to think. I don't know. Wrong Roosevelt there, Terry Nee. Wasn't it Franklin who got socialism done?
Franklin Delano, whatever that fucking middle name is.
Franklin.
Delano.
I thought it was the legs don't work, Roosevelt.
The legs don't work. Hey, but the legs don't work. Hey, don't worry. The pieces that you need work. Don't worry about that. Yeah, forget about it. But the legs don't work.
They used to prop him up like a fucking marionette so people didn't know he was in a wheelchair.
It sounds like a gay puppet, a marionette. Hey, look at that. Jay is nothing but a marionette over here, you gay puppet.
Oh, absolutely. I have aged, Chris Hansen.
What's he doing here?
I have aged.
Can I put that one up? I want to.
Yeah.
No, not that one.
Oh, no.
ZZ said.
No, you cannot.
Come on, man. That one's great.
I love it.
I'm going to order those next time I go to
flag.
a noodle shop. It's like, hey, you got retard noodles?
That's what they serve at Shane's Diner.
Dude, I watched a clip, and it's probably from a while back, but it was a clip of Shane Gillis on Rogan. And Rogan's talking about how he likes women that are muscular. And he goes, Shane's like, are we really? And he goes, and they're talking about something else a couple minutes later. They kind of clipped it together. And he's like, I don't mind if a woman's got like hairy armpits. And Shane goes, you're so close. And Rogan just starts laughing, dude, you're so close. Like in a minute, you're gonna be like, you know what I like on a lady? Buzz cuts.
Like I like a real big, really, really big clit.
Like a thick cock. You know what I like in a vagina? Veins.
I like it when it's an inverted. I like when the vagina's an outie.
Vagina is an outie.
Not an innie.
AUDI. It's a car. It's so fucking big. Look at this guy. Hey, who's that over there? Is that regular noodles? No, that's his cousin. Retard noodles.
Lot more love, lot less quality.
Oh, hero. Oh, you are retard noodle. Oh, yeah, that's when we drop it on his head.
You could argue that, China did steal the noodle recipe from the Italians, so all their lo mein is just that.
Oh, I gotta quickly say congratulations and a big shout out to say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry, who's become like the big star of like social media and things, and a wrestler who's in TNA, won the championship yesterday finally, and he is the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. And that's important to people watch WWE because WWE and TNA just signed like a multi-year deal to work together. So this now sets that Joe Hendry and his dumb song will come on during the Royal Rumble in January. Because there's no way you don't have him come out for no fucking reason, which is amazing.
I cannot wait.
I love Joe Hendry.
I believe in Joe Henry.
That guy worked so hard to make himself popular and then forgot to train as a wrestler. Like, he's just so mediocre in a ring. TNA, not TNA, Terry. But either one works. They changed their name to Impact Wrestling for a while, and then they're like, bring back that other thing. You know, the one that makes you think about tits, but it's not. They don't show any tits. All the women are just like jacked, like Joe Rogan likes them.
I'm a big fan of the T and A wrestling.
What do you like better, T or A?
Probably A.
I don't know. I don't care about size of either one at all. I don't care about the big or small. I think as a younger man, I liked A. I kind of didn't give a shit about T. But as an older man, I like a nice T. And I think it's because I'm getting older. So therefore, sometimes when I see people naked, their T is near their A. And I'm happy when their T's at T point. Like it's where it's supposed to be. So I like it I think I get more excited about a younger woman being naked so I can see the T.
I do get that. For me, neither of those are really like the determining factor. It's really
neither one is the determining factor, but it's nice to have some.
Right. But if I'm like scanning a room and I'm like, who do I want to talk to here? Right. The number one thing that makes me like go to a person is if I evaluate a chick and I go, will she make my life a living hell? And if the answer is yes, usually I'm like, sign me the fuck up. Will you lead me on and never, commit to anything for years? Will you break my heart multiple times over?
Will you make me sing a country song like I am right now? Will you lead me on? Will you break my heart? Will you pull my finger when I need to fart?
Will you break up with me the week before we go to Jamaica and then make me still go to Jamaica with you and then expect me to be there when your apartment burns down while we're in Jamaica? No, fuck you.
It's a hard rhyme that you're going with. I don't know what was a rhyme with.
Country, they don't rhyme great. Just hit it with a steel guitar breakdown.
Will you break my heart and go to Jamaica? We do cocaine and make me a cake. Yeah, this is fun.
Oh, I like that. You can do like the rap thing like Big and Rich does sometimes.
Which one raps, Big or Rich?
I believe it was Big in the Save a Horse, Ride a
Is
Cowboy.
that guy the guy from that Sarah Jessica Parker movie? Mr. Big? Is that his name?
Mr. Big. No, he looks like me, but shorter and fatter.
Yeah, I don't
Mr.
know
Big.
if you saw what ZZ wrote. I agree, but I like that he had a spelling error, and I wish he didn't change it because he's like, just no Fat Chocks. And I don't want any Fat Chocks. Chocks are the worst. They're so fat the I became an O.
It's so round. It's the visual representation.
Oh, dude, I agree. Fucking, there's a guy at work right now, and he's dating this other lady at work this lady looks just like Drew Carey. Dude, she's so gross. Oh, she's so gross. Big fat piece of shit. And I'm like, we're all like, why is this guy's like a decent looking guy? And I'm like, listen, I know you can't pay your bills and do whatever, but don't just fucking. And she's so gross that she said to somebody, she goes, I know he's just using me because he told me I'm beautiful. And we all know I'm not. And nobody chimed in to be like, you're wrong.
Jesus Christ.
Big fat piece of shit.
What's more frustrating, like when you have Lizzo, who's delusional?
Yeah, but is she around anymore? She got canceled for yelling.
Oh, she's very around.
Oh, this is a silly episode. We're having a good fucking time. I really enjoy myself.
But like, so what's more frustrating, that or like the chick you described who's self-aware but doesn't do anything?
You make the fine time to leave me, Lucille, with 400 children and a crop in the field.
He said, I'll love her till I die.
And then she pulled down her pants and she was a guy.
So he killed himself and he wasn't wrong.
You have to find time to feel me, Lucille. You grabbed around my nutsack and found out it was vagina. Now, I don't know how to rhyme with vagina.
I'm trying to rhyme with vagina.
He with my vagina, then Trump, he said China, and then
China. Oh, man. You sad TikTok was down?
It was down for like 4 fucking hours. Everybody lost their goddamn minds.
Yeah,
a friend of mine was live streaming, and so I watched it for a couple minutes, doing the countdown like till midnight, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be terrible." I'm like, you could all visit each other or get like if I get it, your followers and your fans, but like just call a person. They're like, "How am I ever gonna see you again?" I'm like, I don't know. Fucking call them or follow them on every other platform, and then it came back like 5 hours later.
It absolutely could not agree with you more. More importantly, that same app store where you downloaded TikTok, just get a VPN and then you can still use TikTok. It's the crazy
but then you're using like a full-on ching chong. Like you want to feel like some American is getting in there.
No, not me. I want the full Chinese experience. Take away all my rights. I didn't join the Socialist Party, so now I'm a second-class citizen. All that.
Oh, Mr. Bobby, you want to pay for whole Chinese experience? Oh, you come back room, I take care of you. Back room experience. You come here, I rub your nutsack. Oh, he's fine. Oh, Mr. Bobby, you want me to tweak your nipple? Full Chinese experience, and then you can degrade me and pee on me at the toilet.
That was actually my fourth god, was Chinese Jesus.
I'm sorry. There's a little kid upstairs apartment, and I think right now he's giving someone a pile driver because I felt like he just kicked my kid.
He comes through the front.
Mhm.
He's like, I'm on the POS show now.
Oh, I say, oh, hello, Mr. Bobby. I'm a child. I come here to give you a Chinese experience. I just built you an iPhone. Oh,
I like
Bobby,
the
me
pairing.
tweet you wrong time. Bobby.
That made me laugh hard.
Oh, Bobby, I tweet you. You want to see a dick pic? Oh, I mean, vagina.
It's an Audi.
Oh, hello, Audi. That's what I say when I fall off the tower building an iPhone. Audi. And I bounce off the net and I come back up. Jesus Christ, there are people running through my house. I had a piece of shit story.
Ooh, I like
Remember
to
when you
hear.
say, ooh, we looked it up together. I was like, all right, look at you fake acting. Oh, by the way, speaking of fake acting, do you know what has come back into the algorithm for no fucking reason?
No, what's that?
Me pretending my mom is dead.
I
Dude,
did.
everyone is sending me this. All your boys and Lester and them, is this real? People around here, they're like, this is crazy. I'm like, this is like 8 years ago.
That's amazing. I'm so happy it's back.
It's fucking back. And people keep going, this is not. And people are like, is this real? I'm like, well, kind of. I acted. I go, my mom likes the comments about her being dead.
I also like that people assume that you have the capabilities to shoot a TLC quality show sketch. Like if it was just a true fake sketch that they're like, oh my God, how did you do this?
No. What they believe is that I was in it because my mom died and I happen to be a comedian. And like I'm like just being truthful. Because when they do close in on my face and you do watch it, I am one of the greatest actors of our generation. There are literally 4,000 to 5,000 comments, all of people devastated that this woman broke my heart. People are like, you could hear the pain in this man's voice. And then underneath that are comedians going, dude, that's Pat Oates. He talks about this all the time. And then underneath, I write, shut up, I'm trying to mourn. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, of course. Keep it going.
Yeah.
You want my mom's dead clothes?
No, they don't want her dead clothes. You want my mom? You want my dead mom's clothes? I was so high that day, dude.
I love this story, and that's why it looked like you were so sad.
But see, I don't know if I've told this part. So what was originally supposed to happen is that the people we didn't even know it was for Extreme Cheapskates. People don't know, I was on an episode of Extreme Cheapskates years ago. Now it was just a company that puts out different reality shows. They were filming this, but they didn't even have it for a show yet. It ended up being on Extreme Cheapskates, but they were just doing different like little things at the time. They were based. One of the guys who's one of the producers and stuff is based out of Connecticut. So he was trying to find different ideas, and he had this woman who puts on fashion shows and collects clothes, stuff like that, but does it by going through Salvation Armies and dumpsters and thrift shops and all that kind of shit. So they thought it'd be funny. They contacted Joker's Wild when I was running that club, and they thought it'd be a funny idea if they had her do a fashion show during the open mic. So she signed up. And for her 5 minutes, she would go up. So some guy's doing terrible dick jokes. And then she would walk up. And then she would do her 5 minutes and do a fashion show in her clothes. And have people go up. It'd be kind of funny, whatever. Now, all that fell through. The camera crew couldn't make it that day. They couldn't get the logistics down. But they still had to shoot something. So that later that night, or no, that morning, they called the club again. I happened to be there working on orders. They're like, is there any chance we saw you hosting and you're pretty funny and you seem like you can ad-lib well? Could you come? We rented a bed and breakfast in Yale area, which is like 15 minutes away. Can you come there and just help us out for a little bit? And I'm like, yeah. I can do that. So that I smoked a joint and I walked 15 minutes there. And then we recorded like 3 hours of stuff, and the thing's like a 2-minute clip. And I think I've told you this, I might have said it before, but my favorite part of that was we're sitting in this fucking my fake living room. She's sitting by this grand piano. I'm sitting in this old ass chair. I've got a coffee in my hand. I'm fucking looking like an idiot. On a mantle is this huge picture of like black and white of like this Anne Frank looking fucking lady. Like, you know, that old pose or whatever. And like there's also like a vase and then like a porcelain horse is on the mantle. And so the girl's just supposed to ad-lib. Now the girl knew that my mom wasn't dead. We weren't allowed to talk to each other or get to know each other or anything. So I was supposed to just ad-lib and play off what she was saying. and just agree to let her eventually, after putting up a little bit of fight and whatever, let her have the clothes. She does do that stuff, but she's never gone through the obituaries. She never did that. They found out that someone else does that, thought it'd be funny and an extreme thing, and added that. She gets so much hate for that thing that she never did. She's a little tiny Jewish lady, whatever. So we're sitting down and she's talking to me for a while, and at one point she says, he turns to the mantle and goes, "Oh, is that your mother?" And without even looking up, I just went, "No, that's a horse." The camera guy dropped his camera. Everyone starts laughing. They're like, "Cut!" Like, dude, you can't. I'm like, "Come on!" And like, I was doing jokes like that the whole time. Like, there was a banister, and she goes, "Oh, do you guys that upstairs where the stuff is?" I go, "Well, that banister is the one Mother and I would slide down and pretend we were in the movie Risky Business." And like, I was just doing all dumb shit, and they're laughing. None of that's in there. I've asked for the clips, and I can't get it. Whatever. It's crazy. My buddy Marty Cabroni hit me up yesterday. He's like, "Dude, the clip's back up. I saw it on timeline." I'm like, "I know." And he goes, "Have you ever done anything with that?" I go, "Well, I signed an NDA. Even though I talk about it, I shouldn't. $50." He goes, "Yeah, but that's got to be done." He's like, "You should definitely do like a duet or a stitch or something with that video and you." And I'm like, "You know what? I got to figure out how to do that. If anyone's more savvy can help me out with that, we should do that. But remember, when we do it, no Fat Chocks. Like, that's the key."
Absolutely no Fat Chocks.
But okay, I was gonna get to my story, but where was it? I lost my little story. I gotta find it. Oh, here we go. Nope, that's not it. Oh, here we are. That's a video, though. I don't want the video. I want the actual article. Here we go. Mark Zuckerberg. You're familiar with that man's work, right? He's did a little thing called the Facebook and the metaverse, or whatever the fuck it is. He was busted staring at Lauren Sanchez's in-your-face cleavage during Trump inauguration. I've seen that picture. And of course, Emily Crane's first line, she writes, "Eyes up, Zuck."
I don't like that.
I would have written, "Titty Zuck me." That'd be a little tough. Facebook billionaire Mark Zuckerberg was busted, apparently, I get it, ogling at Lauren Sanchez's cleavage during President Donald Trump's inauguration on Monday, viral video shows. Now, I've seen the video and see what they're there. Yeah, he is like looking over, but there are other people over there too. I don't think he's just staring at straight tip, but like, yeah, I mean, you can see that. The Meta founder appeared to glimpse down at the 55-year-old in-your-face's décolletage as he was sitting beside her in the Capitol Rotunda ahead of Trump's swearing-in ceremony. Real quick before I finish that, what's your take on cleavage?
I like it.
Yeah, but like, it's just pushed together tits.
Yeah.
I like breasts, but I don't know. People get way more fired up for cleavage, but when she takes her shirt off, she's not going to have cleavage. So what are we excited? It's kind of like a lap where it only exists in certain times. You stand up, you have no lap.
I thought it was just kind of like, here's a taste.
Taste of what?
The
Tits?
full thing.
But it's not a taste. It's if you just look, if you take a picture of just cleavage with a low cut shirt underneath, it looks like someone's butt cracking their pants right now. Like it becomes butts.
Yeah. I think we're gonna get into my take a little bit, but like, if you don't want people to look, why are you wearing it?
No one. I don't think anyone's saying she didn't want you to look. But Sanchez, who's engaged to Amazon billionaire Jeff Bezos, caused a stir after showing up to the 47th president inauguration dressed in a risque lingerie-inspired bustier in tight-fitting white blazer, which is kind of crazy to show up to a guy's inauguration who's known for grabbing puss, being a lady monger, being kind of a creepy, dirty man. I mean, I'm not shitting on Trump, but he's not known to be nice to the ladies. And she's like, "You want to see my whore outfit?"
Yes. That is what a presidential inauguration party should be.
Oh.
Scantily clad supermodel women's. If I win president, that's who you're going to see.
She's not a supermodel. She's 55. And by the way, Victoria's Secret supermodel has Down syndrome. Supermodel's out the fucking window. At the window, you know what? Zuckerberg's own wife, Priscilla Chan. "Oh, hero Zuckerberg and me, Priscilla Chan. I'm your wife. Don't work in her titties.
Honeypot.
What? Oh, you want to shout? My honeypot was sitting on the other side of him as the encounter unfolded. Unlike Sanchez's eye-popping fit, though, Chan opted for pearls and a pale cardigan that was buttoned up to the neck. Because I have no titty. Oh, cardigan.
How'd she
He was
get
more
that in
like,
pearls?
he got hardigan.
Yeah, for the first time in years.
Feel like the first time. Footage of Zuckerberg. By the way, for everyone upset, it's an Irish accent. Footage of Zuckerberg's apparent wandering eye was quickly noted on social media, with some eagle-eyed viewers joking that maybe the Facebook Titan is human after all. I like that's the take. That robot likes tits. Mark Zuckerberg. Go ahead.
I think he's throwing a curveball. I think somebody programmed the robot to pretend to get caught staring at cleavage.
Well, no. We have to remember, he's not a robot. He's AI. So AI adapts around. So if other people are looking at the tits, and then everyone in his AI mind is what? The internet, right? And what does everyone search on the internet? Titties. So eventually he's going to like titties.
And if you're confused at home, AI stands for autistic individual.
Yeah.
He is an AI, a big AI.
AI. Ooh. Footage of Zuckerberg's apparent wandering. Okay. Mark Zuckerberg is ready to risk it all for Jeff Bezos' fiance at the inauguration. What a dog, one said bluntly. I mean, I see the picture. He's not. I think he's looking at Bezos, to be honest with you, but because he's probably like, bet you that guy has $4 more than me. Social media users were quick to rip Sanchez too for choosing to wear the revealing outfit in the first place. I think you should be allowed to wear anything you're comfortable in. If she thinks that's what dressing up is, fine. A guy wants to wear a suit and tie, great, but someone else there should be allowed to wear a t-shirt and fucking jeans. You wear whatever you want. Who gives a fuck? Why is everybody always, you got to wear this to this? Fuck you. She wants to break out some 55-year-old titty, but those are 55-year-old titties that made a man leave his wife and give her this lady money. Like, that's some good titties.
She may be 55. I don't think the tits are.
Yeah, the tits are probably like 7.
Yeah, I think they're pretty.
Which makes him a pedophile.
I've been saying it for years. Time to stop Bezos and Zuckerberg.
I meant Zuckerberg, but yeah, Bezos too. The former TV report, yeah, because her vagina is 55, so Bezos is okay.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, we'll give Bezos a pass.
The former TV reporter has unveiled the lacy number, which appeared to be an $1,800 Alexander McQueen satin trim bustier, when she whipped off her white coat soon after finding her seat inside the rotunda of Lambeau Field. Good grief, Lauren Sanchez. Put them away for once, someone wrote on X. Gay?
Report that person. What the fuck is wrong with you? We should not be discouraging cleavage. Like, that should have been Trump's original mandate. We encourage cleavage.
Just when I was luxuriating in the beauty and class of Melania Trump, in walks in Lauren Sanchez wearing only a bra. I should read that in the voice it was in. When I was luxuriating in the beauty and class of Melania Trump, this whore came in with her stupid tits.
Are they mad that she had the bra on?
No, they're mad that she has tits. Who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it Zuckerberg for looking over and looking at some tits? Is it Lauren Sanchez for wearing what could be a provocative outfit and maybe not appropriate for an inauguration? But it is appropriate for that guy's inauguration, the man who is sex. Is it Bezos? I get it. You got $1 billion, but you're obviously a cuck. You're a weird guy. Your ex-wife got all your money, whatever. You don't really control your ladies well. This lady was a TV reporter, and now she's like the richest lady there is. You can't. I'm not saying you got to control it. You got to handle your business. Like, hey, bitch, you can bring out the tits later. We're going to the inauguration. Zuck's going to be there. Zuck can't stop looking at tits. Is it the people that all watched the inauguration and were so bored because so many of Trump fans and people that hate Trump are watching? Trump's become Howard Stern in that way, where like people that are watching it like him, but 50% more of the audience is watching because they hate him, like the old Trump Stern thing.
Absolutely.
But like the people that are watching that are all looking for anything but the speech, anything but the inauguration. They're like, no, we got to find something. So you're scouring the crowd and you're like, look, Zuckerberg's looking at tits. And then everybody just rolls with it. I mean, the guy turned his head for a second. If we recorded everyone doing everything, every man and most women in this world would be caught looking at tits.
And like, it's the gym thing. Like where guys are getting put on camera for checking out girls at the gym, and it's like, or I'm just zoned out on pre-workout. Like we've gotten so far away from what's really mean or rude or crass, whatever you want to call it, that now looking is a problem. Now, I'm not saying you should break your neck to check a chick out, but if there's an attractive woman and you look at her, that's not on you. That's just human nature. And the fact that we've made it like that's sexual assault with your eyes is the most ludicrous thing. And it's really spitting in the face of anybody who's actually been sexually assaulted.
Yeah, it should be judged on the actions that come after that. If he looked at her tits and was like, hey, lose that zero and come with this hero or some shit, or he's like, nice,
yeah.
Then I gotta get it. But he turned his head. So what?
Man.
He appreciated it. Like, so there are some women out there who basically, and I don't want to sound like sexist or whatever, but there's some men too, but I don't find men attractive. So for me, it's not a thing. But there are human beings in this world that basically, I hate to say, are works of art. That whatever it is that our eyes, our senses take on is what attractive is. There are certain people that we can all argue. Like you always talk about how you love Lindsay Lohan and you think she's great. I'm not saying Lindsay Lohan and her best wasn't a pretty girl, but she's not my cup of tea. But there are women that I find attractive that you might go, I don't know if that's the best thing in the world either. Yeah. But there are certain women that we all can just look at and go, holy shit. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, but that's the wrong way. It's like, oh, holy shit. Oh my God, she's got a flute in her pussy. That's like that's I wasn't ready for the bomb, the C bomb. But there are certain people that are just works of art. You know what I mean? And what do you do in art? You look at it, you enjoy it, you appreciate it. Now you don't try to pull your dick out and fuck art.
No, right, exactly.
You just look at art and you leave. And then that's kind of what it is. I'm not even saying he did that. I don't think he did that. I think he literally, the way the thing was shot and the way he turned. If there was a woman sitting to my side right now, in a camera angle, it would look like I'm staring at her or ass when she gets up, but I could literally be turning my body at the same time or looking in general directions or whatever. Just all it is. So I think it's weird that happens. No, but who do you think the piece of shit is?
Well, I do think it's important. If you haven't seen the video, what follows him looking at it is then he looks at the camera, gives double thumbs up.
He does not do that in any way, shape, or form. He has no ability to be cool.
He does this.
Yeah, he just goes, motorboat.
Yeah, for me, it's anybody who cares. Like, this is a huge day. There's a lot more to hate Mark Zuckerberg for than looking at some tits. He was on Rogan and admitted he censored all the COVID information because the government told him to. And now he's there to buddy up with who? You guessed it, the government again. It's anybody who's mad at Mark for this and not for the cornucopia of reasons you should actually hate that guy.
More like pornocopia.
No, because he keeks that off Facebook too.
When I was working at a comedy club years and years ago, one of the owners, every time he saw like a hot young girl, their little butt, he'd get real drunk and he'd go, I want to eat her corn. And it was always the grossest thing ever. But whenever I hear the word corn, I just think of butts.
I think if you had murdered him and used that quote in court, they probably would have said you did society a favor.
Yeah. And they would have said, hey, never say that again.
Yeah. You're almost getting executed for just quoting him. Who's your piece of shit?
My piece of shit in this story is, what's her name? Priscilla Chan. You know your husband is a little creeper. You could have made this fun. You could have made this fun. She's got her turtleneck or her pearl necklace, quote unquote, all those things there. Not that they knew in real time what was happening on social media, but I bet you Zuckerberg did because the computer in his brain told him. But I think she should have got up and kind of walked towards. I was like, oh shit, and then walked over and then motorboated fucking what's her name, Sanchez, and then given her the dirty Sanchez. That
would have been incredible. That would have been the highlight of American politics.
And then Trump
might have had to end the.
Trump comes over, grabs them both by the pussies, and sits them down.
If that happened, we might have to just end the United States. It's not getting better than that.
Hey, Stormy and Obama. And speaking of things coming to an end, hi, Stormy, and bye, Stormy, because we did it. It's an hour. once again. Mondays are always fun days when it's me and Bobby here. Bobby, you got anything you want to promote, push, all that fun stuff?
January 31st, I'll be at the Soho Playhouse. Come check me out.
I got a bunch of dumb shit, but the big one is February 6th. I'm at Comics Roadhouse in Mohegan Sun doing my Here's This show. A bunch of good comics on it. We're doing a thing where 2 comics go on stage, pull names out of a hat. You both make a joke about it. The audience picks who had the better joke about it. The loser sits down, another comic comes up. We continue that process until for an hour, for 90 minutes. We lost. There's tickets available at comicsroadhouse.com. Just go on the Thirsty Thursdays for February 6th. February 7th, I have a show I'm putting on at Twisted Vine. It's called The Funniest 15. 4 comics. I think this one first one 5 comics doing 15-minute sets. And me and a judge and the audience will all pick who the best 15 is, and then they will win $100. And a bunch of other shows I have coming up as well. Pretty soon, I think my album's coming out. I don't know, but it should be there. By the time I record my next album, they'll come out as a double album.
It'll be a double feature.
But we'll figure that out stuff soon. Please like and subscribe and all those fun things there. We appreciate you. Sorry, we appreciate you watching the replay. I think you'll enjoy this episode. It was a fun one, and we miss you. And Bobby, anything else?
No, but I will say, if you can't join them, beat them, and don't be a piece of shit.
All right.
POS show yo. POS show yo. Yo, it's POS with Pat and Bobby. News so wild it's never sloppy. Talk the truth, don't make it snobby. Who's the POS? We getting choppy. POS show yo.